This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. New studies show the world is becoming less religious. There's a global, fast-growing population of people without a religion. That's what the new AP-NORC Poll results show. Religion has long been a powerful force in society, touching politics, art, and daily life. The rise of nonbelievers and people with no religious affiliation is diminishing its influence. According to this poll, 3 in 10 U.S. adults have no religious affiliation. About half of them identify as atheist, and the other half say their religion is nothing in particular. The shift away from religion is even starker among younger adults, with 43% of 18 to 29-year-old Americans responding none when asked which religion they follow. The trend is not limited to the USA only. It's gaining momentum across the world. The poll finds that in Japan, 70% of people say they have non-religious feelings. Nearly 80% of Italians say they're Catholic, but most view it as a tradition, with fewer than 20% attending services weekly. Israel, a country with about 7 million Jews, is remarkably non-religious. Just 33% said they practice traditional religious worship. Conflict between secular and ultra-religious Israelis has grown in recent years. However, public rejection of religion is harder for non-believers in many other countries, like Nigeria, where the polls show it can be risky and even dangerous to be publicly atheist or agnostic. Now, many of us who have studied religion and churches and that kind of thing know that the fastest growing group in religion and in churches is nuns, those who don't identify with a religious affiliation. And when I heard the story and when I read this story, I immediately thought of my own family. I have a sister and I have a brother, and we were all raised in the church, Presbyterian PCUSA church. We were all raised in the church. My parents were very active. We went to church every Sunday. We went to church. I'm the only one who still goes to church. That is not to say...
The lesbian.
The lesbian, yes. Kind of the black sheep of the family, exactly. But my sister doesn't go. My brother doesn't go. That is not to say they don't have religious beliefs. I know that they do. Actually, if you asked them what their church is, what their religious affiliation is, they would say Sunshine Cathedral.
Wow.
Because of the global fellowship, because my sister, who lives close by here in South Florida, when she can, will come to Sunshine Cathedral. She finds this church affirming, welcoming, warm, where others maybe not quite so much. So I think a lot of times we have to look at how religion is being presented to people.
Right. If it's all about all the don'ts, and all the can'ts, and all the, if you're divorced, you can't have communion. If you've made procreative choices for your own life and body, we get to tell you whether that was right or not. Gays can't get married. If they get ordained, they have to be celibate. All of these can'ts and don'ts, and you can't have communion, or you can't join, or you can't be ordained, or you can't be married. I'm surprised that people bought that for as long as they did. That of course that isn't something, it is counterintuitive. Religion, if it's about bringing people together, you can't have your religion be about pulling everyone apart and tearing individuals apart. And so this is not a surprising thing.
Right. No.
But I've seen good families and I've seen bad families. And good families are good. I've seen good economies and bad economies. I've seen good governments and bad governments. I've seen good education and bad education. I've seen good religion and bad religion. The social institutions, it works if you work it. And so if you made religion be about bringing people together, then even if it wasn't for you, at least you wouldn't hate it. You wouldn't be against it or make fun of people who win. But that's not religion. Religion has been about crusades and about inquisitions and about homophobia and about misogyny and about controlling people's bodies and about colonizing other countries and calling it missionary work. And it's, you know what I mean? So what people are saying is, I don't like bad religion, and they haven't seen any other kind. And so, which is why only history and time will tell how successful we are. But at Sunshine Cathedral, we are non-dogmatic, we are non-doctrinal, we are non-creedal, we have atheists, We have Jews and Christians. We have Muslims. Every single one of them takes communion if they want to. And what communion means to them, they'll tell you. We don't tell them. And it works.
Yeah.
Yes. We can show you that what can bring you together is love and exploration and togetherness. And then you can talk about all this other stuff also, but that can't be gatekeeping stuff. We can talk about the Bible. I can even forcefully give you my opinion about it. I can't make you believe my opinion. And if you don't believe my opinion, still bring potato salad to the potluck.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about.
Right.
That's what it's about.
I think part of the whole you have the growing non that you mentioned, and from just my thinking about it, those are folks who witnessed how the church treated people.
Yes.
And they stepped away. And I think there's another growing population that will probably add to the nuns is that folks who are in church, who have been hurt by church, are now continuing to step away. That's a growing population also. So I think people can be more spiritual and more just like, I want to be open to other things other than this teaching or that teaching, but also about the hurt. The hurt that the church has caused over the centuries and over the years, and people are looking for a way to reconcile what they need versus sometimes what the church is even offering.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the reasons I'm glad that, at Sunshine Cathedral, we offer that space for people to come and explore what they need, to take the time out, to heal, to do what they need to do in the process. And, and sometimes this isn't the place that they need.
Right.
And they move on. But more often than not, they stick around because there's hope, there's love, there's that sense of presence, there's that sense of connection, and things are being offered, not just church. Some of you, I think you jokingly threw out the potluck. We have, people who come to potluck who may not show up on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Because that now becomes their community, that's their connection.
That's their Eucharist.
And that's
it is.
It's the meal. They come together, sit around and tell stories, they talk and share. And so I like the fact of how people find and define their own community these days, because if it's not something that's giving you something that's wholesome and good, it's not good.
People come to our performing arts series. People come to get food from our pantry. People come to sit in a 12-step meeting or participate in a 12-step meeting. People come to church. They come to film shows. They come to what we offer so many things because we want to offer something you'll need, that you want. And it doesn't have to be all of it. And what people need is spirituality. Now, even that, what does that mean? It's almost like love or porn. I can't define it, but I know when I see it. But I think spirit is connection. Yes. I think spirituality is connection and wholeness, and you have more hope, more peace, more joy. And you may not get that from reciting a creed or from having water splashed on your baby. It's fine. We'll do it if you want it. But when it becomes about that, that's what the golden calf story is.
Yes.
When it becomes about the thing, when it becomes about the past, when it becomes about limiting, then that's the worst of religion. What people want is, I want somebody to care.
Yeah.
If what happens to me, I want someone to remember me if I die. I want somebody to cry if I'm sad, cry with me if I'm sad. And if they're not getting that in church, they'll find it somewhere because it's got to be had.
Yes.
So if they're finding it at the bar, if they're finding it in the garden club, if they're finding it with their poker buddies, if they're finding it on the pickleball court, thank God they found it. And shame on us that we weren't a place they could even think to look for it.
And that's a big part of the picture. The world used to be so separated. People were in their own community. The only thing they knew was what they were told. Now, with the information that's available, people can make choices. And the choices that they're making are telling us that organized religion may not be for me, at least the ones that I saw as I was growing up. And now that I know that there's pickleball, now that I know that there's potluck, now that I know that there is a group that's specific for me and it's not a religious group, that's where they're going. So I always come back to Sunshine Cathedral because we welcome people, whatever their beliefs or doubts may be. We welcome people no matter who they are. The one thing that I've learned when I talk to someone is I ask them what their pronouns are, because making an assumption about who they are is not fair to them. And that should never be where we are. So I talk to people. I listen to them. We had a bunch of people come to church last Sunday for the first time ever. And one of them said to me afterward, I didn't know that a place like this existed.
Yeah.
So what we're doing has meaning, what we're doing is needed, and hopefully others will check us out in the Global Fellowship and say, we can make our churches a little bit more like that. How about that?
Yeah. We have my favorite line from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. is assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's another thing that with religion, we make a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
When people, there's two questions I get asked. Oh, and I want to say this to any evangelical who might be watching. If you're evangelical and you're still with us, God bless you. Because when I was a kid, churches offered fun things.
Yes.
There was the skating party and the pizza party.
true, yeah.
But that was cheese in the mousetrap. It was to get you in.
Yeah.
And now you come to church camp, and now you go to Bible school. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, we got it. We saved souls, and we started with pizza. No, when we offer pizza, it's about the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
like sharing the moment. That's the sacrament. Being together. That's the religious thing. There's no other shoe to drop. You know,
No.
when we have dinner, when we have a picnic, when we have bingo, when we have movies, it's to have that experience.
Yeah.
You came together, you had fun in a safe place. That was the worship. That was it. And if you want to come back for other things, please do. The more the merrier. We love it when people show up to things, but we're not trying to get you into heaven.
No.
I can't even promise you there is one.
Amen.
But I do know that if God is, then God is fully present. God is pure love. And so we don't have to worry about heaven and hell. Whatever is after this, it's going to be fine. And if there's nothing after this, well, then that presence is here to make this as good as it can be. So we're not trying to get you anywhere in afterlife. We're trying to make this life better. And that's the end of our story.
I love it.
Yep. Next up, we are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going to where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.